This is the entertainment buzz. Further on in the buzz.
That is why they borrow our things. And them searching and searching. Like what just on the clip them away.
What we gonna do right here is go back. Way back into time.
Sky, are you? All the respect them eyes sound for. Like a flag. Hear me now. So bout it. Dig it way.
Entertainment buzz are the real thing, man. Sight.
And now, our feature presentation.
Yes, sir. We want to say a very special welcome to the EBUZZ. I'm DJ Bones.
And I'm Kishima Francis. Also want to say good evening to our listeners, those of you who are simply listening to the 107s. And if you're using the H3ro FM mobile app, listening on the go, welcome. Remember that the app is absolutely free.
Finally. That was one of the persons who said something to me, said, Bones, finally, because this is a subscription team we couldn't work with. But it is there. We've listened to the calls and the requests of our listeners. And this is something that they wanted. And a lot of them are very pleased. The app seems to be very user-friendly. And they are able to access it very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So,
especially for Samsung users.
yes, that is true. We also want to encourage our friends to follow us on our social media pages. Feel free to join us on Instagram, @HRFM_JA. Feel free to join us on Twitter, @HRI_FM. And also join us on Facebook @HRIFM. We had a H3ro tonight, I'm just learning, and I saw it go, live shot. So we got a lovely discussion tonight. We got a couple of things we're going to be talking. Our music artist is Heavy Man. We also have a discussion with J.R. Watkis, my brethren. We're going to be talking about the streaming and the streaming platform and the people with the numbers. And
you know, people say numbers don't lie, and others say numbers can be manipulated. And, you know, we have some Jamaican entertainers who have entered into the billion streams club. So that should be an interesting conversation like you outlined.
Well, one of the things I want to talk to JR about, you see, is the same thing that Buju Banton, and we had this conversation with Buju at his studio when we were doing the Born for Greatness album, kind of a listening party, but we did it live with the Buzz in town. And one of the things he was saying is that, yes, the numbers, the numbers in terms of streams and the numbers are in the billions for certain artists and so on. But the cost per stream or the kind of royalty they pay out is sometimes 0.00 a third of a dollar. And normally a man would go out and buy a CD or a record for $14, $15. So these are other things that we'll talk to JR about when it is that time to talk to him. But there are a couple of things that are happening in terms of our hot topics. You want to get into him? Which one you want to start with?
Well, I think we should start with, you know, TJ and Byron Messiah. First of all, big up to TJ. Recently celebrated his birthday and seems that he has bought an apartment. So big up to TJ. In addition to that, he has also entered the Billboard charts at number 47. So congratulations and kudos to him with Drift. Now, in the same breath, you know, there is a musical feud between the two. You know, they're exchanging diss tracks. He released one, Byron Messiah released another. They also, on their social media platforms, TJ shared a Instagram DM that was sent by Byron Messiah some time ago in 2018, just saying that, yo, TJ, we should link up, we should do a track together. And then Byron Messiah, in responding to TJ, he shared an Instagram live of TJ saying that, you know, endorsing him as a big artist and loving his song Taliban's. And I was just grooving to it and talking about it. Long and short of it, you know, that fans keep comparing the two songs to say which is better. Is it Taliban's or is it Drift? So persons are speculating that what actually prompted this beef, did it started out as a result of fans comparing the songs, and you know what exactly happened. We also know that Byron Messiah via Instagram in a private friends group, he had made some comments about TJ and also Reggae Sumfest, and that private information went public and that's when TJ first released his diss track Warning. So that's on that.
One word for the two of them. Attention. Them just look attention. And
But look here. I would encourage both of them to focus on their respective careers. The two songs are creating waves internationally and are providing platforms for both men. So they should just focus on their individual careers and just try to take it to the next level.
I want to, one of the things is not to drift away, no pun intended, but to drift away from that. I want to big up TJ in terms of the purchase of his house. I don't know if it's an apartment, but it's a 2-story thing I saw. But my friend Kathy, old co-worker of mine, she was a real estate agent who sold the house.
Okay.
And I want to big up Kathy because I know that you're a serious businesswoman when it comes to the real estate. And TJ was also bigging her up, and she did a great job with that. TJ, your first property, it is going to be your dream, it is going to be your love, and you're going to do all the good things with it. Good investment, guys, are youth with enough. TJ has quite a few kids, and it is good to be able to have them in a foundation this early. So I'm proud of him in terms of, he has just gotten
some big move.
Well, here's one of the things why I think the move is big. I think he spent correctly. Because most times when you're getting into some sort of success and the money is flowing in, you normally see them a floss a car. Me never see him a floss a car yet. Him is flossing his real estate portfolio. And all I can say to you, TJ, improve on it, increase it, because as you go down the line, these things are going to be passive income and it's going to be important for you. So congratulations on the move on purchasing your first property. Can you hear me say first? Because there's going to be more.
Into being, right.
There's going to be more.
So focus on that.
Yeah, but now you're Messiah. Look at them foolishness there. No time for that.
Yes, that was a very good drift there.
Drift away. So, and another thing that we want to say big ups, and one of the things I'm loving with our artists in terms of they're just pivoting into business. So we want to say congratulations to Lila Ike. She launches her online store. So Lila Ike has ventured into the sale of apparel. On her Instagram, the Second Chance chart topper shared that she was excited for the launch of her online store. So dubbed, World Store. Yes, Lila. Shared that she has been working on the venture for years, wearing the merch first in an effort to ensure comfort, top quality, and also to test durability and to see how well the garments would hold up after consistent washing. And that's a very important thing.
Absolutely important.
Right. So we want to say big ups to you, Leela. And we only hope that this is something that is going to just expand. And a lot of them are realizing now that music is great. Music is a real stepping board into going into something else. When you look at all the other artists who have really become case in point. So we're looking at the ones who have really attained billionaire status. The music was a platform, but the business is what really took them to the higher
that level. And it is also proof that it is important to diversify your portfolio. So,
Definitely.
Just don't be one-dimensional, and multiple streams of income is what everything is about, especially in these times.
And one of the beautiful things of that now is that the foundation or the structure is there for multiple streams of income. Back in the day, a man just sell him sky juice on the roadside and a dat him a do. Now, because of the digitization of the market, we have many ways to
access.
Earn and pivot. And a lot of these young artists, they're doing it. And they're doing it quickly and they're doing it smartly. So we want to say congratulations to them.
No, absolutely. Now, also in our hot topics, of course, Skeng, he brought his family to the UK for a performance at the O2 Arena on the weekend. And, there is a video that he shared on his official Instagram account where it's basically a snippet of his partner with his young son who was just close to the back of the stage. Of course, the child was wearing earmuffs. And, you know, he picked the child up and performed a few lines of his song, Life Changes. But all in all, it was just really good to just see Skeng, him young, him partner young, they're there, and it's about family. So kudos and big up to him. I know that a lot of persons in the comment section were saying once he had his son, we're saying to him, Skeng, don't bother jump, because you know how energetic he is when he's on stage. But of course, Daddy Skeng kicked in. He just, you know, planted a kiss on his son's cheek and, you know, did his thing and exited the stage with his pregnant partner. So big up to Skeng and his family. They're absolutely growing.
And there's just, one of the things that I like about that is that, you see, a youth like Skeng got into some very early success. And he has been dominating in terms of performance and travel and, you know, topping the charts. He will mature very quickly now with his family growing, and a lot of things are going to go into perspective. So big up Skeng and keep doing what you're doing. It don't mean if you take your performance, jump up and down if that you do. Just don't jump off of the stage and broke your neck.
When he has the child in his hand.
No, don't do that, youth. Don't do that, youth.
And I think he is so unassuming because when people see him at events or performing at stage shows and that kind of thing, you get a different Skeng than the Skeng you see around his family. Yeah. So composed and different.
Well, you know, there has to be a difference in terms of how you operate. You know, one of the biggest artists that I've always wondered if she was schizophrenic was Lady Saw. Because when Lady Saw was Lady Saw, and Lady Saw would perform, and she was raunchy on stage. Off stage, she was extremely shy. Very shy. And she blushes so easy. You say, Mama, walk on. Bones, nobody highlight me. And nobody highlight me. So that was always her thing. So, you know, you really have to, it's really showmanship. You go on stage and you have to do what you have to do. And you represent for what people know, for, you know, what you deliver. But, you know, off stage and in your private life, things normally change. Me know Skeng now walk up and down in the house and I jump up and down same way like when I jump on the stage. It don't make no sense. So, so big ups to Skeng and big ups to the family and it's growing. And one of the other things is Chanel Muir. You know, they have kind of a strained relationship. So she has a strained relationship with her mom. Now, so Sinjay Chanel Muir has seemingly responded to a post made by her mom following comments in an interview. So Chanel shared a portion of her new song with the words, "Right now, me I work on my higher self," and it identified triggers and cut out who fi cut out. The page allegedly belonging to Chanel's mom on Tuesday wrote that she appreciates the short time she spent with in the Sinjay's life, but she went on to say she's not perfect and thinks she has done her best and does not understand why Chanel is angry and upset with her. But she ended by writing that she will oblige Chanel by staying away from her and wishes her all the best in her career and so on. She did say that she and her mom didn't have a good relationship, so that's kind of rough though, you know, because she said she yearned for her mom and we don't even fix that. Then we need to fix that, because if one party passes, you're going to hear the regret and you're going to hear, and then when they pass, they can't fix it because they're already gone.
And I saw tonight a piece of an IG live with Chanel Muir, and basically the genesis of that snippet was life is too short, show love when you can. And just give love. Just know that, you know, life is absolutely short. So that was her message. So hopefully that is an indication that they are working on fixing things behind the scenes.
Fix it, please. Fix it. And you have a platform here to let us know how you all are doing, but fix it. May I beg you. If you notice what is happening worldwide, things are just behaving crazy. Fix it. Appreciate who you have. Let them know you appreciate them, because things happen and they happen quickly. So fix that, definitely.
Absolutely. And big ups to 450 and Vanessa Bling. You know, they are, this week, they both, via social media, expressed gratitude after being signed as brand ambassador brand ambassadors for Rumbar's Vibes of Jamaica campaign. So big up to both Vanessa Bling and 450. And the campaign basically brought the two together. So it's a feel-good dancehall setting, party setting rather, commercial, promoting the brand.
Yeah, it's so good a lot of times when we see, they would say you come off the carpet and you go on corporate. A lot of times you'd hear a lot of the artists who say stuff like that. So I'm loving a lot of these companies endorsing or bringing on our local talent because they would add to their marketing or they feel that they will add to the marketing. So we love that. And a lot of them, the Digicells, the other companies that have been just bringing on and endorsing our talent. So it's a good look for everybody.
No, absolutely. All right. So with the hot topics out the way, it is time for us to get ready for the discussion. And I see already standing by, we have our guest, CEO of World Music Views, artist manager and consultant, record producer, educator and author. We're talking about Donovan Jr. Watkis.
But it's for him catalog,
It's a book.
but look how strategic JR is now. Him look like him at the headliner of one show, Him have all of the artists, them,
Shaggy,
the whole of them,
yes.
and him block out the whole of them and say, yo, I'm here the headliner,
The care. So for persons who are just joining us, of course, like Bones mentioned earlier, a number of Jamaican artists have crossed over into the Billion Streams Club on Spotify. And tonight with JR, we will take an in-depth look at dancehall and reggae and what does this mean for the genre. Donovan JR Watkis, welcome.
One boss.
Hey, I love the show.
Not hearing you. We know you're hearing us.
I'm hearing him.
You're not hearing me?
Oh, you're hearing it. Oh,
no,
yeah, we're hearing you now.
Man.
Oh.
All right. I hear you now, JR. Big up, JR. Where you say, brethren?
I know I'm not technologically challenged. I said I love this show. I love the hybrid radio concept where we're up on radio, but really up on TV. Like, this is the future. Yeah. This is it.
All right. No, it is. And there's only one way to do it. That's why we're Irie.
Irie FM.
No, JR. According to data, a number of Jamaican artists have crossed over into the Billion Streams Club. Who are some of these entertainers that have crossed over, and what does it mean for the genre?
So only 8 Jamaicans have crossed over to Billion Streaming Club.
And these are who?
I want to say the top 10, and 2 of them don't have a billion yet.
Okay.
So at number 10 is Conscience. He has 913 million streams across his catalog, led by a Spanish song produced by a Russian, Privado. And that song is certified Latin platinum, 3 times platinum. Wow. So Conscience doing big, not just with dancehall, with another genre. So 913 million for him across his entire catalog. Vybz Kartel is 930 million. And his lead song is a song with XXX Tentacion. I don't know if you know him.
Yes.
He's the top guys. He died. But the song Royalty with Kartel and Steph London and Kimani Marley, that's one of Kartel's biggest songs. But Fever is Kartel's top song, dancehall song on Spotify. And he's about to be a billion, but he's at 930 million. Right, wow. Nyla, who is the sole female Jamaican to have a billion streams on
Brick and Lace.
Formerly of Brick and Lace.
Right, okay.
She did a solo effort with Major Lazer called Light It Up Remix with Fuse ODG, and that surpassed a billion, 1.2 billion on that single. And that's why she's in the Billions Club, because her other singles are getting like 1 million plus with Beanie Man. And so, are you still there? Something just happened.
Yeah, man.
Come on, loud
and clear. We're hearing you. Just continue.
Number 7 is Popcorn, 1.5 billion. And we don't have to talk about that because we know him have Drake to help him. And then Marley, 1.6 billion. Liquor Store Blues with Bruno Mars is one of his top songs. Welcome to Jamrock. By the way, Welcome to Jamrock is a platinum selling song. It's not yet certified,
right,
but it sold more than 1 million units in the US. And that's like 3 real dancehall song. So big up to Damien with that. Omi,
Yes.
guess which is Omi's lead song?
What is song name?
Cheerleader.
Oh, man, Cheerleader.
Cheerleader.
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
yes.
I mean,
Yeah.
So
Cheerleader.
Cheerleader and Hula Hoop, Omi, two
Right.
top songs, and those have a little tropical vibe, but not exactly dancehall or
Right.
reggae. The only Jamaican producer on the list is Russian, and Russian, he's like a Latin producer extraordinaire.
Right.
Whole heap of big hits, whole heap of Latin hits, and him have 2.2 billion streams. But Russian sing to, so him in the artist category as well.
Got you.
3.5 for Shaggy. It wasn't me, Mr. Bombastic. He's at number 3. Bob Marley and the Wailers, they have 8.4 billion across all credits.
Wow.
And Bob Marley have a heap of features. Bob Marley, people do things with Bob Marley songs and all that, but Legend is his top album.
Right.
And guess who's at number 1?
Thinking now.
This should be easy.
Should be.
Sean
There's
Paul.
only one person I don't call it who have that kind of temerity.
Sean Paul.
Chanda Pal.
Shandapa.
Yeah.
So above Bob, above everybody else, Sean Paul has 10.8 billion streams.
Wow.
Wow.
Led by songs like Rockabye, No Lie, which is a lead song by him with Dua Lipa. Which other song is there? Temperature has 709 million streams. So Sean doing it his way, and still 20 odd years later is at the top of the charts and leading Jamaicans in terms of how music is consumed globally.
All right.
Wow.
Donovan, one of the things I wanted to find out from you, because you still have a lot of people who are old school and they don't understand the mechanics of streaming. They don't understand how them used to listen to a song on the regular radio, free to air. And now it is now focused on streaming in terms of, can you, in your best way, break it down in layman's terms, where I am now noticing that people are now pivoting to the streaming platforms, the Spotify, the Apple, the whoever. And monetarily, in terms of how does that work out for the artist versus them selling a CD and a record that used to sell for what, $15 or $14. I'm seeing streams for $0.00, a piece of $1 or something like that. So a man who used to play him like a boombox and him I listen to the radio now, and them, they hear you breaking down all these numbers in terms of the amount of streams and so on. Can you explain to them the best way you can where we're going now from free to air into the digital space?
Definitely. So even when people used to sell CD, the artist used to make sense of his album. The record label made the majority of the money.
Okay.
And in the 100 plus years of the music industry, the model has not changed. To date, the record labels make most of the money. So I'm going to explain 2 ways how streaming works.
Okay.
One, you have Spotify and you get a premium service. Your streams are called on-demand streams, right?
Right.
So you pay $9 for Spotify. Spotify pays record labels globally $3 out of that $9 per person. And it's over 2 billion people subscribe to Spotify.
Right.
2 billion users Spotify has, right? So do them kind of numbers there. They pay the record label, but they pay based on market share. The record labels pay out based on market share. So let's say reggae has 1% market share, and you have a reggae record label. And you can think about any reggae record label you know about. They'll get the market share for reggae.
Got you.
Right? Universal, led by Drake, they get the majority of the market share. And the race now is for market share. Remember, it's a $9, $9.99 for split up between everybody in the music industry.
Right.
It's not about sales now. It's about streams and who have the bigger market share. So whoever has the bigger market share, in this case, Sean Paul has the bigger market share. So naturally, Sean Paul. Now that model is literally duplicating the selling a CD. Only thing, you just get paid one time.
Right.
So when labels are signing people now, they're not worried if you're gonna sell. They just know that you add to the market share.
Got you.
Because that market share will determine how much they can go to Spotify. Remember, it's not just one place either. Spotify, Tidal,
All the
Audio
platforms that stream,
oh,
right?
Apple, everybody, and be like, hey, this is our little food over here, so based on this and that and that. And it's still a numbers game, right? Now, that's for the artists. Artists make money two ways: from the music, from their writing, publishing, right? That model is still the same. But if you notice, most artists are selling their rights to their music. So music is now an asset class. Music is just like how NCB listed on the stock exchange. Wall Street is chasing music like that. And that's partly because of streaming. Because if Spotify make $10 billion and they're going to pay out $2.5 billion in market share, the private equity companies want to get market share because that money is literally just there. It's just there. And then when they buy people's catalog now, they don't have to pay the artists no more money because them done pay you rest already.
It's for them.
And yes, and the business is still the same. It's just that now, in my opinion, there's a lot more liquid money because people are subscribing in the billions.
Right.
So
Very
JR,
well explained,
based on absolutely.
Very well explained.
No, based on what you just outlined in terms of the top 10, I couldn't help but to realize that these are veteran entertainers, seasoned entertainers. How are the numbers faring in comparison to the younger acts, for example, as Skillibeng, as Skeng? How are their numbers in comparison to the Shaggies, the Sean Pauls, Vibes Cartel, Omi, etc.?
Well, on Spotify, no. Skillibeng nowhere near Sean Paul, whoever. But below Sean Paul, you're probably gonna find below Conscience is Charlie Blacks.
Right.
Below Charlie Blacks, and off the top of my head, like Coffee has 500 million streams on Spotify. But Spotify is just one platform, right? I did this curation to show how Jamaicans are performing on one of the top platforms in the world, right? There's also Apple, there's also everything else. But what's important is the certification.
Right.
Recently we saw Skillibeng got certified for Crocodile Teeth selling 200,000 units in the UK.
Right.
Think that because that's the market share I'm telling you about.
Got you.
When you add it all up, you have a thing called album equivalent streams and sales, SEATEA, and single equivalent streams and sales. 1,500 streams equal one sale for a single, I believe. And don't quote me on what the album is. Yeah, multiply that, and because 10 tracks on an album, right? And when that is added up, it's regarded as one record. So 1,500 streams equal one single.
Right.
And then you multiply 10 tracks equal one album. So when a man have 20 tracks, it might get calculated for 2 albums, according to the RIAA and the BPI. But that's what you want. You want to be certified for each single sale. So 1,500 streams, you want 1,500 streams times however much to get it to 200,000 or $1 million. Sean Paul has done that more than anybody else with dancehall music. He's the most certified.
Put some respect, Mr. Shonda Paul.
The Henrique.
No.
And Bob is the most certified with
legendary.
When you hear things like this, JR, in terms of you're working the numbers, this is something that you obviously are very familiar with, and you've broken it down in the mechanical way in terms of how it works. What are your prospects in the future now for things like free-to-air radio, that what we're on now? Because things and times will change, and evolution and pivoting will happen. When you look at the media landscape now in terms of where this original style of disseminating information and music goes, we still have a future? What are you seeing in terms of what you're looking at in terms of the digital space and the free-to-air space? So
I started by saying I love the show because we are on TV. Visual and audio is where we're going. If you look at in America, every radio station
is streaming.
Have cameras in the studio live on radio, live on YouTube, same time for every single show.
Right.
We somehow still haven't graduated to that. What you and Kashima doing now, I can see the morning program, the afternoon program, the day program, and the night program.
Yep.
But the stations will have to invest in a camera crew. Because
yes, true.
It requires, but it's another piece of content as well, because audio and visual, so that you can put this on Spotify, so that you can put this on Apple, both in audio and in video. Right? It's going to be on YouTube, and I'm sure people who not listening right away, they're going to be listening later, and be like, "Oh, I catch that," because that's people are not necessarily listening while it's going on, but they're going to catch it on their own time. Now, I wrote an article the other day about radio being dead.
Yes, that's why I mentioned it, yes.
What I really meant was old radio is dead because the technology is evolving. When radio just started with the gramophone, it was a thing. And then it graduated to different systems. And then it have different light poles, and then you have frequencies change from AM to FM, and then it just keep on going. That's where we are now.
Right.
Where unless stations, media houses, individuals, because that may be even the next step, which I say a decentralizing of radio, where individuals and brands start to do their thing and have their own media entities that also can be valued and sold just like music catalogs.
I totally agree with that, because one of the things that I'm seeing now, especially big up my brethren, Business Signal, Turf President, he will say on his Instagram, he's inviting you to his broadcast channel.
That's what it is.
You understand?
That's a notification that you get from a lot of persons.
Right. See, this is a broadcast channel, so I think it's going individually now that they're starting their
And I tell you something. So Busy using Instagram, right?
Yes.
Imagine Busy had his own website with his own show. Busy would be competition if he might interview people because he is Busy Signal.
That is true.
And this is happening with especially veteran artists in the US already. And it's just a matter of time before that trickles down into different markets. But where it's going, streaming is up in the ante. Intellectual property is becoming way more valuable because it's reaching billions of people at the same time.
That's true.
No, JR, let me ask you this though, because what I'm getting from you, it is a numbers game. This is where we are now. This is what is happening. So should entertainers, in your opinion, refocus their attention to streams and do what they can to get in on it and get the numbers up?
So entertainers got to do what they're good at. Not everybody can do what you're doing. Like, as I tell you today, Kishima, you remind me of Angie Martinez. You're so good. You're fluent. You just at ease. Bones there over there. So it's a nice opposite. And it's just a nice kumbaya going on, right?
So yes,
not everybody
nice.
can do that.
Nice. So you're a terrorist. Well, hey, youth, watch it.
Let's just say you're the opposite of Kishima.
She nice. That mean me not nice.
You don't have on glasses. You have on glasses. She in a white shirt now. Me see in a red shirt.
No, you know what I'm saying. You try to butt up this thing, but it works. We work with it, JR.
No, but not everybody's gonna have charisma and to do radio. You people like you have an advantage over even some youngins, right? Because you have the gift of broadcasting. You're confident, to deliver. So it's just a matter of going ahead instead of waiting until the market shift and they're like, oh, let me play catch up. And I see a lot of that happening right now. Today, I saw a radio station got chipped out because lightning strike.
Well, a communication company always get leak out when lightning strike too.
But that I'm on the internet.
Yeah, internet. Yes, they know themselves. Then if
but you could have Starlink,
right?
Like you have so many things to just keep it going, right? And that's where we gotta go.
Options are there now. Yes,
options are there. We gotta think global. But H3ro FM is no longer a station from Sentan broadcasting in Jamaica. You're a global station,
worldwide,
and whatever you say, you have to bear that in mind. When I started World Music Views, I was like, how can I put dancehall and reggae to the world? I could have just called it dancehall. I have another website called Dancehall Report. I could have just called it dancehall song, but I'm like, no. I want to position everything I'm doing in the global sense. And that's why I focus on the numbers, because that's the only way to measure things with a number. You can't just say, boop, boop, boop. Like, that don't make sense.
I've heard people say before, JR, that, some will say numbers don't lie, and then others say the numbers can be manipulated. Based on what you know and, your knowledge, what are your thoughts on those two phrases?
So, look at Burna Boy, and then look at any other artist that has Burna Boy numbers but can't fill our stadium. And then you understand there will be differences, and there will be obvious differences, because when it comes down to it, it will be about people. It will always be about people, but people are driven by numbers.
That's true.
The stadium can't full with one person. So you need research, you need data, you need to understand your demographic. And that's what I do when I talk about numbers, not just showcasing somebody getting streams.
Right.
Like an artist will get him album at #1 on iTunes for 2 minutes and same go #1. So I report that, but then I'm going to report what it means,
right?
What it really means, because numbers is one thing, but you have to analysis is what world music views is driven by, and that's how the music industry will grow. If you can't interpret the numbers, then it's just going to be numbers, and it don't mean nothing. So when Burna Boy numbers come up, you have to you can match him back to him album sales, match him back to the stadiums that he's doing all over the world.
Yes. Because
that's what it makes sense. Burna Boy would not have been possible in 2000. Even when Shaggy Boss, Burna Boy wouldn't have been possible. But because of the internet, his music travels the world. So he went on a global tour within the space of like 3 years.
And one of the things, JR, that you're mentioning now, that I think that all our friends in media, and media has actually, the landscape has changed totally. We cannot play catch up. We need to jump on the opportunities, because the structure is there, the digitization is there, so you can get your message out, you can get your content out quicker than ever before. Yeah. And this is one of the things that we need to capitalize on. Yes, you're going to still have the people, the old school people who, boy, I mean, I understand the technology and me can't bother with it. Yes, you're going to still have their little part for them, but they need to also understand that it's not going to
embrace
be
it. But JR, are you surprised that Nyla is the only female in the top 10 in the billionaires club? I mean,
I'm not surprised, right? Because a lot of the metrics that used to maintain in dancehall, they were vanity metrics. Like some of your biggest artists, some of dancehall's biggest artists don't have a gold or platinum plaque. Beanie or Bunty don't have a gold or platinum plaque. RIAA. Bunty Killer had it from No Doubt, but they didn't sell a lot of records in the US, right? Now, other people who didn't, you were surprised, like Patra has the only gold album by a woman, and this is 1993.
Right.
But when you talk about dancehall, nobody now said, yo, man, I gotta show them to Patra. But Patra sold the most, right? Yeah. And a lot of the metrics that have maintained in dancehall and reggae music have been about nothing. It has just been about who had done the place and who can be the man and one up in each other versus looking at the industry, targeting an audience, making music for an audience, and selling. And that's what world music is about, highlighting the difference between making the airplay chart versus the Hot 100 chart.
And as you mentioned that, do fans care about the numbers and the data? Because like you mentioned, Patra having the only gold album, but then you say, who people want to see. I mean, will she full stadiums and that kind of thing? So does it really matter to fans? What do they want? What are they looking for?
So just like Sean uses numbers to capitalize and make new hits. But it's on Patra now to put in context her numbers, right? You can't tell artists what the artist got to be motivated and feel it. But nobody does it like Sean Paul. Sean Paul capitalizes and uses his numbers to get the biggest collabs. Sean Paul uses his numbers to get the biggest shows. He's headlining Dubai next week. And that's because of his numbers. Sean don't have a new hit. Sean don't have a brand new temperature. But Sean has the numbers. And Sean uses that and market that and push himself. Shaggy does the same too. Bob Marley does the same to sell T-shirts and all that, and the museum, and you know.
I totally agree with you. And you know, one of the beautiful things about the way we disseminate information now digitally, we can now draw back for some of the very old stuff, which is now online. You know, they have a thing called Dance Hall Vault, and they go in there and they bring back. And
I love that. I love that side. Yeah, I love that side.
Absolutely love it. And a lot of the young people now wouldn't understand the culture back then, but the way because of the Spotify and the TikTok and all.
But here it is. Here it is.
Yes.
H3ro FM. I grew up on H3ro FM. H3ro has a vault.
Of course.
Yeah.
That I would love to hear.
Well, if we pull out the vault, and our vault is expensive, you know. We don't just bring it out like that. We have to
you know what I've been trying to acquire? I've been trying to acquire like old newspapers in Jamaica. But like they're just diminished and gone.
And I'm sure they're digitized. We just have to look.
No, they're not. Like a lot of them are.
JR, you
They're
should
not.
probably
They're
check
just gone.
Copeland Forbes. You should check Copeland Forbes. He does have a lot of even posters, like dancehall posters and that kind of thing.
True.
So
No, but I'm talking like daily news. Like, you remember the X News?
Yes.
I'm talking like that, because that had a lot of stories about dancehall when in a time when people weren't celebrating dancehall. They had stories highlighting what was in dancehall. Now that dancehall is on Drake level and Rihanna level, everybody talking dancehall. But I vividly remember when people were saying that a boogie yaga music.
Right. You know, JR, it's good to be able to talk to somebody like you who has research,
passion,
and
information.
The information is there. One of these days, we're going to have you in studio.
Yes.
Yeah, in studio, because, you know, the vibe is different in studio. But let me tell you.
You're always a great resource person to connect with.
You look like him just get up every morning and study. You know, nothing else but study.
Let me check the numbers.
Let me check the numbers this morning. And I like the flyer because the flyer right there, so where you have in your background there, you are the star of the show, and Shaggy look like probably the smallest.
No.
Flyer is a representation.
They are the top streamers. No, a lot of Shaggy, Sean Paul, and Damian Marley.
Yes.
They're in my book, Cultural Capital to Financial Capital, where I talk about how dancehall and reggae music performed over the years since the 70s, and how other genres and other people use it to market, from high fashion, Louis Vuitton, Gucci, Rihanna, Khaled, Jay-Z. Everybody used dancehall to sell their thing except the Jamaican.
Give us some more details on the book and where we can get the book.
So get the book at cultcap.com and on Amazon. Cultural Capital to Financial Capital. But the essence of it is how dancehall is used to market the world. Reggae is a brand that it has been used. Marley basically owned reggae brand, and Jamaica uses it to market Jamaica. But dancehall was the brand that merged with hip hop. It wasn't reggae music.
Exactly.
It was dancehall that hip hop loved. But look how hip hop gone and turned into this trillion-dollar establishment, while dancehall is struggling to make the Billboard charts every week. So my book now, my book put into context ways and strategies used by Shaggy, who is in the book, Sean Paul, who is in the book. I have a lot of finance people in the book who are talking about how they value the asset dancehall, both the music, the writing, the name, image, likeness of artists, showing them how literally this picture everybody on this picture, if a company should buy their faces, it would sell. Shaggy face alone worth X amount. Sean face alone worth X amount. Just like when you see Notorious Biggie Smalls, Notorious B.I.G.'s picture on shirts.
Yes.
Like, companies are looking for name, image, likenesses that are just unique and sellable. And who better have that than Sizzla Kalanchi, right? Who have that more than some of our real, genuine, earthy, cultural people who may not even have sold a lot, but they meant a lot to the culture.
Definitely.
That's another way you can capitalize on the dancehall culture.
I'm trying to be nice to our listeners. So a man driving right now and him just turn on the radio. And he must say, our book JR talk about. Just remind us of the name of the book and where it's available again.
Cultural capital to financial capital, reggae dancehall. Get it on Amazon or anywhere you get book. But you can also go on the book's website, culcap.com, culcap.com, and get it. And it's an easy read. It's me talking to a couple of stars, a couple of finance people. It's written like the Bible. You know, the gospel according to Shaggy, the gospel according to Sean Paul, the gospel according to me. There's Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, the New Testament of dancehall.
JR, thank you so much for making time.
Yes, it's always a pleasure.
And big up my friend Debbie, you know. Send her my love.
Big up Debbie.
Big up Debs, my dad.
She should be listening.
Yeah, man, Debbie, big up yourself, my girl. Great lady. All right,
Anytime,
JR.
man.
Thank you so much, JR.
And
I love the show. I'm going to keep listening tonight.
All right, my boss.
All right.
Respect. Enough love.
All right. Bye, Kishima.
Yeah, man. That's
Bye,
Donovan
JR.
JR Watkins. As I say, CEO of World Music News, artist manager, consultant, record producer, educator, and author.
Yes.
Always great to have him.
And what I love about that conversation just now, Bones, is how JR just kind of break it down for us so people can understand. And even the entertainers who are listening can also understand what is happening and how the industry is moving.
And a lot of these entertainers are not digital yet. They're not on Spotify. They're not there nowhere. They need to know, get on there and get their streams going and get themselves, paid, So let us see who will now take advantage of these platforms that are out there. This is the way to go, and this is how we have to pivot and get modern. But let me say, get with it. That's what we have to do. All right, so we're moving on. We have our music artist that's going to be coming up next. And I think I'm getting a message here that we should probably start with one of his tunes. So we're going to start with Days and Months. And our music artist this week is Heavy Man. So let's get Heavy Man's tune running. And then I see his setup is there, but he's not there yet. So we're going to be talking to him via Zoom. So let's get the tune running right now, and then we talk to Heavy Man.
All right, DJ Lolly to the
Go through, youth.
Yes, sir. What you mean? Whoa, life, whoa. Yeah, easy. Yeah. Rough every day. Me da your days and months, that's search and hunt. Never yet have it easy. Yes, me da your days and months, that's search and hunt. Never yet think it's easy. You know me da your days and months, that's search and hunt. Never yet have it easy. Me da your days and months, that's search and hunt. Never yet think it's easy. Me tell them the road is so rough to travel, and them the hill is so steep to be climb. Well, if it chance to get in a life, we name it combat decline. But me nah give up, nah go stop me foot up and gas to me under me roads and me ever fast car. That as I say, some me feel let it rain. Me a hold it to get to you, that can you give me with your days and months, the search and hunt. Never yet have it easy. Yes, me da your days and months, the search and hunt. Never yet think it's easy. You know me da your days and months, the search and hunt. Never yet have it easy. Yes, me da your days and months, the search and hunt. Never yet think it's easy.
All right. So like Bones mentioned, our music artist this week is Heavy Man. Heavy Man, welcome to the EBUZZ.
Sit down in your studio, man. You come by like... Well, Heavy Man, where you around there? I'm penny days and months. Heavy Man, where you say, brother? Heavy.
What are you, man?
We are here, you man. Yes.
Hold on. Bones.
Where you say, Heavy?
There, I would have Keshima,
Yes.
Yeah, man.
the queen of all queen. I would have run the turntable, lollipop.
Oh, you see him.
No, I run the turntable.
You can't see, I guess, a lollipop on the turntable.
All right. We
When the
tell
turntable
them,
is
oh,
called CD
hold on,
players.
hold on. We tell them, oh, I will leave them and go. Say them a move too slow. I'm not this damn you know. Whoa, 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 whoa. We tell them, oh, are you home for them home? DJ Bones, Kashima, and then now let it go. Number one. I'm not this
Hey.
damn you know. Whoa, 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 whoa. Let me only sing this song. Let me know say him Kashima can sing. I'm know say Bones doing little thing. I'm know me say Lollipop doing thing. Let me only say, more only arm me. With this,
No, you said
what?
do me thing. You said Kishima can sing, so make Kishima sing.
No, more all drop. Yo, we come for a vibe tonight. Look, we come for a vibe tonight. We come for a vibe for the EBUZZ tonight. I first time for the EBUZZ
But you
tonight.
mash up in a heavy. You tell everybody say Kishima can sing.
No,
Me and Lollipop do it thing, so make she sing.
Yeah, so guess what? We are come together tonight. I EBUZZ with the panel.
No, we are far
Yo, I know daddy thing, you know. I like everything we are dealing with. You know what I said? Don't the Keshima. Don't the Lollipop, you know that. DJ Bones, you know the combo. But more on the arm on it. More on the year we say. I recommend, you know, I number one station, you know. When I ramp with it. More on the say, oh, whoa. Listen. Another this time for now. Whoa. More you hear three vibes. Another this time for now. Whoa. Let me hear now.
Right.
We not hear nothing from. We not hear the
You
vibe.
ain't now work good, man. You don't hear the harmony a while ago.
Heavy man.
No, sir, me not hear Keshima. Me not hear Bones only.
Me not love how you take over the interview.
And are you we are interview?
No, yeah, man, but we just want to do a little thing. It's nice to be EBUZZ because I don't know, so I number one radio station. So when we come, we have to come good, you know. Don't you, Keshima?
Of course, absolutely. So how you get the name Heavy Man?
And your mark so.
Boy, me I tell you, say, I found me a little youth, I grew up, you know. Me right name away, reggae star. You see me, I say? So,
Yes.
we just go on some little thing when me a youth, I grew up and everything, and so.
Like what?
Me, some people just start calling me Heavy Man, so. Everyone me I go then just say me Heavy Man. So, me just answer to it. And it's like, when we go dance, and we start do a little thing, we just start Heavy Man, and you just, everywhere we go, you just say heavy. Because we just love heavy. We just love heavy, so heavy just a making them heavy.
It's not heavy now. One of the things me can understand, if somebody calls you Heavy Man, it's one of two things, you know. One, you're overweight, or two, you have a whole heap of money. Which one was it? Because when you have a whole heap of money, they say you're heavy. So, which one was it?
We're having a meditation. We'll keep you here. We're heavy in a meditation. You see what I said? We always meditation deep. So you see what I said? We keep it positive. Because we like on the positive side.
You get
to
it.
So how
it.
You got started in music?
Yeah. How you start?
Well, I just grew up in the music, you know, and just love music and just I really just love music. And we just step away a little bit from music because circumstances, and then everyone go people say me who know me used to do music from school days growing up, all that after. So everyone doing music, you're not doing music. You used to sound good at school and anything that I used to not bench here at school, man, we took the see you on TV and everything that someone say. Otherwise I say, yeah, man. I'm going to have music back, you know, because I love the music. I always do a little thing out there, some backstage thing, a little thing, see, you know, yes, and I say so. We just keep it, so we decide, say, yeah, man, this is what I mean, so I just have to just go and do it, because when I have to just come out, you know what I mean, so we just have to just do it, and this thing I do, just have to do positive music for the world, because I just do straight positive.
Good.
You see me, I say, boys.
Yeah, well, that's the best way to do it. Now, one of the things we want to find out from you, Heavy Man, is that you're based overseas. You're between here and overseas, right?
Yes, sir.
What are some of the challenges that you have faced with doing this music or doing this business of music? You know, some people you talk to them say, man, them not have no challenge. Everything's smooth. But 90% or even 99% of some of the people we talk to, them have a problem to get themselves established in the business, either through fight or, you know, challenge. What kind of some of the things that you had to go through that made your music or make it difficult for you, if you have any?
Well, I can say, bro's been not like him now. So I say, I like him. You know. The road rough, you know, brother. The road
Why?
forget it up here.
What are some of the
That's
challenges you
it.
faced? What
A
are some of the
whole heap of challenge, man. Whole heap of challenge me get, man. If me tell her all I challenge them, enough time up on the bus, me tell her all I challenge them.
Give me
So,
some.
a whole heap of challenge to get music out there. Just hard to get the music and get to promote the music. It's hard to get to promote.
But despite the challenges, though, Heavy Man, what was that one thing that kept you going regardless?
Come as a youth, you know, we never stop, you know. We always keep going. You see me, I say, I always keep going in life. And stay up on the positive side. So I say, I jam, I say, so I just keep straight. I just walk on a straight road. I say, nothing like come.
But what does music mean to you? When I look at you performing, or when you have some sort of a musical effort coming out, you to me you get so excited. Can you give me the kind of feeling? This is what I'm seeing. But describe the feeling you get when you're going to either perform or you're about to put out some new music.
I suppose one of the best things, one of the best feelings in life when we can hold a mic and know somebody up on stage and I perform for the people. Me love my fans and I can't love them no more once. So I now lie to you. Once, me not lie, me just started Jamaica just like a week and a half ago. I tell some of them nice street and I see my fans them and my fans them start calling to me. Every minute me have to stop. Once me I walk round in a clock, go up a top. And I say every minute me have to stop because some of my fans them going, me don't know them still love, but me have to go and me know them. So I say, I pure love them give me, brother. Pure love. So one of the sweetest thing for them on stage and know, so I perform for them and them love the music and I give them. And I say, it just give me a joy if you just perform and do reggae music and do clean reggae music. You see me?
Tell us about the song that you're currently promoting.
Well, we have an EP when I get ready for drop in a Kashima. I have some of the songs them out there already will come out of the EP. And we have Days and Month.
Well, that play all over this. That play all over this radio station. We hear
It's a lot of airplay.
yes.
Yeah, Days and Month. I don't know if we can talk this for a radio station, but Days and Month make it number one on CBM TV.
Yeah, man, you can
T
say.
Center Expression. It reach number one on there. And we play World in a Gambia and Senegal and Zimbabwe.
Oh, well, yeah, say.
And England too.
You have a name for the EP. I know you mentioned that, all of the tracks are from your EP. What's the title of it and how many tracks in total? And is it already out?
Some of the songs were gonna be on the EP already out. And the EP gonna have seven tracks. And I don't really come up with the right name. We got a lot of names we are choose from. So we don't really choose the right name and say, well, you're gonna name this, but it's on its way. You guys gonna hear it early.
One of the things we wanted to find out from you, the EP, it's not released yet. You're waiting to put it out, right?
Yes, sir.
Talk to us about the song Days and Months, the inspiration behind it. Await, Days and Months. How did that song come about?
Alright, boys, my songs them always be a composition. I have a life story for me I deal with. The life story for me I go through. I have a life story where I try to express it to the world, more the world to hear my life story where I go through and how I grow up, So all of these words where you hear in my song is real true. It's not no like making up lyrics. It's like me I say, sit up on the rhythm like that on rhythm. It's nothing like that. These are real lyrics that I come up with in my life. Where these are the type of stuff I face in my life and where I got through to make it. And Mr. Dude who not giving up. So I put it in the music where the world can hear it and can feel me and feel the vibe and say, yeah, this what this youth going through and this youth just I express it to the world. So I just them type of music that I do. Days and months, I search and hunt, but never yet have it easy. It's no joke, bones.
You're talking from truth, and we love that. What are your social media handles? People hearing you, and they want to reach you, maybe if you do a collaboration or just do any kind of work with you. How can they reach Heavy Man?
Well, alright. I do music with Star Trek Reggae.
Star Trek Reggae to Canada.
So is that your management or is that someone else?
Well, in one of our management. So we deal with Star Trek, and we have BC Nation. That's Fire Cheese out of Tree Hill.
How do
So
they reach you? You have social media, tell us your Instagram and all of that.
yeah, well,
TikTok.
you have Jeff Mowat, Everyman on Facebook, Everyman Official on Instagram, Everyman on TikTok. And you can get me on all platform, all leader platform. I'm out there once. You just put in Everyman, it just popped up. I'm out there. I'm searching for it, bro. Days and months.
You're waiting for your share.
Alright. My life story is like my first song is Hopes and Plan. I got a lot of hopes and I got a little plan. And my second song I got is Peer Pressure. DJ Bones plays a lot.
Yes.
And my next song I come, I'm waiting on my share. And then I come back and say, don't slaughter me. And then I come back and tell say Days and Months. And I come back and say Peer Pressure. Now I'm telling them now my new song I have out there I'm promoting right now is this one where I say work hard. I give you a little piece like the good ones. Work hard for me. Work hard for mine. Work hard for me. No, me for no one fi come give me some me. Work hard for me. Work hard for mine. Work hard for me. No, me for no one fi come give me some me. Oh, Papa ring say me work for me money. Work hard for me. Now I'm janta na hurry. On the street them hustle for the money. Say me now go for prison and let me family. After me no fool no after me no man smarty. Common sense every man him got it. Me grow up by me grandmammy so me work hard for me. DJ Boys, Kashima, come on up.
Yeah, don't play.
Look here, you're going right now.
Yeah, we're going to don't play session. It'll go easy in the youth.
Yeah, man, it's just a vibe, man. I just love reggae music.
I think one of the things I love about watching you is the way music make you operate. It's like you get goosebumps. You see me like Kishiba, sometimes you see me and you say, you don't have a tune.
I felt the pain. I felt, you working hard, like, how you started and you gradually got into it. So big up yourself. Where can people see you perform? Do you have any upcoming shows?
Yeah, I got a show in Tree Hill, St. Mary. The calling of Tree Hill. That's a Margaret promotion. That's the 16th of December.
Okay.
I'm gonna next show the 22nd of December at a retreat across the river. And then on the 29th of December in DJ Italia, Global Dancehall. Jamaican original indeed, on the 29th last Friday night.
You mean our own Talia from Irish?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then me on a show in Maryland, up in Frederick, that's in May coming up. So everyone out here, me I do my thing and just go and do my thing and just all my love and this all me continue do. So
it's so
cool.
Heavy man, it was indeed a pleasure. Anybody want to love before
man,
you
big
leave
up
us?
your crew.
Yeah, that's what I want to big up somebody. I see me come up and I big up them people.
You're not problem.
I will lock up my phone tomorrow. You have to big up Star Trek Reggae out of Canada. Big up yourself, Star Trek Reggae. You do a lot of work. You have to big up Fire Trees. You see, that's the Fire Trees. We are them started. We started. So that's the Fire Trees at Charleston Tree Hill. Yeah, that's a BC Nation. You have to big up King Tour, St. Mary, Willa Peter Seal, Raymond. You see me, I say, I have to big up Maryland. I have to big up, I have to big up Kiba. Big up yourself. And myself. Come on, man. Over here, sir. Big try, big up yourself. Over the try, big up yourself. And I have to big up a guy, Joe. It's a white youth out of Maryland. If you not big up Joe, I tell him phone I lock off tomorrow.
What is Joe's?
I have to big up all of my family them too.
What is Joe's last name?
I don't Joe. I don't remember my last name, but damn man.
If him
I
have
don't.
another, if him have a particular last name, him is a problem. So
Yeah,
make sure
no
you give
man,
the
Joe.
last
I
name.
know man, I
Right.
forward to man, Joe. I got you, man. And
Okay.
big up KG record team, big up
Shiva just
KG
get the
record.
joke.
Hey,
Yeah.
everyone, I just vibe, man. Just big up KG record. And big
Yes.
up all of this jack from RFM who play every man, all who no play every man. Big up MC away. Because I love RFM, because RFM is my number one radio station. And every man say that. And nobody can take back that.
Nobody can.
All right, heavy man.
And big up yourself, Keshima. Me listen you all
Big
the
up
time.
yourself. Oh man.
Big up yourself, Keshima. Me listen you all the time.
Yeah, but
Nah,
you
so
Wow,
we just
thank
love
you.
it. We just love the vibe. You see me, I say the vibe is so nice and pure and clean. You see me, just love the vibe. You see me, I say. And big up yourself, DJ Bones, who always play every man.
Rich.
You have big up me Chicks, DJ Talia Power. You see me, I say.
Yes.
Hey, me have to big up Gary G. Me have to big up Courtney Mark. Hey, big up DJ Lollipop and Brian. You know me.
Hey,
Where?
if you're going to talk about Gary G, talk about him properly.
No, I'm a cousin that in real life.
I ain't cousin.
Hey, no.
Gary's my cousin in real life, you know.
No, hold on. That mean you are heavy man.
All right.
Yeah,
Not real life. So Gary Granny and my granny.
Yeah.
In a real life, Gary Granny and my granny are two sisters. Gary Granny and my granny are two sisters. So Gary mother and my mother are two first cousins. So in a real life, me and Gary are real cousins.
Yeah, in a
So
real life.
so big up Gary G, I mean.
Big up.
Gary G, cuz, big up yourself. Anyway, big up yourself, yo.
Shiva and Gary are cousin too.
What?
That's rich.
The boy, yo, me see me here, the boy look young, man. Gary G.
No,
So,
he
oh,
is a river.
Forever young.
He said, like, he must start over my age, man.
Heavy man, big up yourself.
Anyway,
Big up yourself and keep the good
big up my
vibes
family,
going.
big up my family in Maryland. So, my son TJ there, listen to me, and everyone from my family. We don't want to start calling him and then people go say, boy.
No, man.
Just big up.
Big up everybody, Richard. Big up yourself.
Me love Ari. Big up me dancer, D. Big up me dancer, Nerves. You see me, I say, me can't company, so big up Nerves. Mama Boy, Tamba. You see me, I say, big up Dougie Benz, the whole James Avenue, MC, Bubbles Man. You see me, Johnny Neal, the whole Mama Boy, the whole Parkland. The whole of Pineapple Exchange and Peter see you send me a tree. The whole of some love on her. Die for someone else, you know.
Anybody say you left them out tonight, then wicked.
Yeah, no, look here. Nobody not get left out.
Nobody
Every man
not get
gets a piece of.
It did me easy. I love. I thank you, man. Thank you. They have every man.
Big up yourself,
Yeah,
heavy.
man. Big up yourself.
Respect.
It's a joy.
It's a joy.
Yeah. Big up to every man or music artist. Absolutely love his energy, love him vibe, and you know, just him happy nature. Bless up yourself.
From long time,
indeed.
ever
Don't
ready.
it?
I tell you, the man not easy at all. All right, we got a big up coming up, and this is Memory Lane. We're going to be talking about, that's an event coming up, and I think I'm ready. Because, you know, them nice party, you know. Memory Lane.
Memory
and
Lane live.
We're going to be talking to
with
Patrick Phillips.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Patrick, welcome to the EBUZZ.
Hi, good night.
Patrick, Memory Lane. These are the events that seem to be doing big things, taking over these events of yesteryear. I want you to give us all the information you can about Memory Lane Live. Where is it? When is it? Who you have on the bill? And what's the admission?
And where we can get tickets.
Right.
All right, so Memory Lane is a sort of the event, as you had mentioned. The type of event, all these in particular, tend to carry a large volume or are growing to have a large volume of support.
All right.
So
Patrick, before you go any further, I want to make sure that everybody can hear you. Your phone sound like it kind of breaking up a little bit. Right? So I want you to speak loudly into the instrument so that we can hear you. Go again?
Is it any better?
You sound a little muffled, so I just want to make sure that we can hear you very well. All right, give us the information that you can. If you have it on hands-free, take it off and talk in the phone straight.
Okay.
There you go. All right, so because we're getting a feedback and we kind of you're sounding muffled, so
that was the problem. I had it on hands-free.
All right, there you go. All right, give us the information on Memory Lane Live.
Yeah, man. So Memory Lane Live will be held on the 7th of October. This is Saturday at the Mandeville Primary School in Mandeville. We have a top of the lineup as it relates to, you know, culture and oldies. We have Bass Odyssey Sound, we have Stone Love, and we have live performances by Lieutenant Stitch representing the 80s and King Beanie Man representing the 90s.
Wow.
Tickets pre-sold, regular, we have 4,000, 5,500 at the gate, and VIP is $8,000, which is pre-sold only. So you can access those tickets online on touchstone.com, or you can check our outlets while stock lasts.
What do you get for VIP?
Alright, so it's a package that is food inclusive, as well as you get to be up and personal with the artist.
Okay, so you have close access.
There are other giveaways that will be coming from our sponsors as well that are limited to VIP patrons.
And who will the event be hosted by?
And yes, of course, GT Taylor.
What?
No, but you have to talk it better than that. You gotta say,
man.
you gotta say massive.
The
great, the legendary GT,
Yes.
George Taylor. Yes.
Yeah.
And you know,
so it's a solid lineup. It's a solid lineup, and we're looking to, you know, bring together a solid product so that we can continue to grow the event. As we have already been planning for our next stage that will begin May 2024.
What time should people get out to the event? What's a good time?
All right, so with the gates open at 8.
Okay.
And we hope to finalize being running up until 4 a.m.
Okay.
It sounds good. So you're gonna have the great sound system juggling and creating the vibe right through until you have the stalwarts. You have the Dr. Beanie Man or King Beanie Man and Lieutenant Stitchy coming to perform.
About what time is show time?
Performance time should be around midnight.
Okay.
However, it's a package that, as I say, we'll be bringing to 4 a.m. So even after performance, you know, we'll still have Bass Odyssey and Stone Love.
Those sound systems will hold the party right through. So they're awesome.
Yeah, man. It's an experience that we're limited to the live performance. It's overall a solid product. So whether you're there from early, whether you come for performance, you'll definitely be left pleased.
Yes,
all right.
It sounds great, Patrick. We wish you all the best.
All right, thank you very much.
Before you go, Patrick, how does your security and your parking look? You have all of that sorted out?
Yeah, man. I'm working with the constabulary force in the area to actually, you know, run through protocols as to how we can have everything run smoothly.
Okay. All right, that's Patrick Phillips. He's the event coordinator for the big party called Memory Lane Live, and it's going to be featuring live 80s versus the 90s, Saturday, October 7, Mandeville Primary School. That's on Caledonian Road in Mandeville, Manchester, featuring the musical juggling of Stone Love, Bass Odyssey, with performances from Lieutenant Stitchy and Beanie Man. $4,000. Yeah, $4,000 pre-sold, $5,500 at the gate. So it's advised to buy your tickets pre-sold, and $8,000 VIP, and that's pre-sold only. So you can't access that at the gate. So you have to buy that also.
Hosted by H3ro FM's GT Taylor.
George Taylor, the boss.
Yes. Massive.
Thanks a lot, Patrick. Respect every time.
Yeah, man. Thank you very much.
Enough love. All right, so that sounds like a big thing I'm going on, man. You know, when Mr. Taylor hits the stage, massive, we present to you. No, sir. I go down there, but it can't far from me drive, but me I go. Part of the sound like it I got shot. Party slash. Yeah, party going nice, man, I tell you. All right, we're gonna be
so we're getting ready now for H3ro.
Yes.
You know, his album is
Grammy nominated, yeah. So we're gonna be
no, not this. This album is titled "On a Mission."
On a Mission. Okay.
Newly released album. It was released in time for this year. Well, the 2024 Grammy nomination. So let's see what happens in November. You know, if he makes the cut. But we're gonna be joining H3ro. Is he online? H3ro?
No, man, he's there. H3ro, welcome.
Check. Hey, what's up? What's going on, man?
Well, go on, H3ro.
Oh, man.
The man with the
I
Niro.
don't know why I feel like as I hear your voice saying check H3ro, I just want to say Andrew on the TV just to get the thing confused. But we're here to talk about your new album, On a Mission. It is out. Talk to us. How many tracks? Are there any collaborations? And what's the story behind the name?
Well, yeah. First of all, blessings to everybody who are listening. You know what I mean, through the radio, we're all about, you know, big up the H3ro family. But yeah, the album On a Mission, 15 tracks. There's a total of 12 collabs on it, and the whole story behind the album is, you know, means I get a youth, and you know, from everybody's seen my journey from, you know, being homeless, from going through the different stages of just the music and my career, and I think it's just the right time to put out the album after being on the road touring for a year, after being Grammy nominated, you know, and so many other different celebrations. So I think it's just the right time for put forward the growth and present a body of work, you know, just to represent my generation and the youth them too, isn't it?
Give us some information about the album itself. Who are some of the people you worked with, producers, and the amount of tracks on there, and if there are any collaborations? We want to have an idea for the folks out there.
He did say 15 tracks, but
15,
you didn't tell us who the collaborators
and like
are.
12 collabs.
12
Yeah,
collabs.
so
Who are
we
some
have-
of the people you collaborated? Yeah, who you collaborated with?
Anthony B's on the album, DeMarco, Lolly, Skilly Bang, Dre Island. We also have from Zimbabwe, we have Winky D, which is like a legend in Zimbabwe. And also production wise, we work with Soca 7 and a few other young Jamaican musicians, you know. Soca 7 produced like Drunk in Love for Beyonce, so just to show you the levels, you know.
Okay, that is awesome. And I saw where you shared on your official Instagram page a story as it relates to Anthony B and, you know, how you were like a little nervous, you know, just linking up with him. Can you highlight again that story for us, how you got connected with Anthony B for the album and what it meant to you?
Well, I would have said nervous. It's more of like a, you know, like a full circle moment where like he was in Waterford and I didn't know, and growing up in Waterford I used to hang around his kids and didn't know because my mom and his wife is really close, so it was just a moment of realization, like, oh, after we do the song and everything, I found out all that and he found out, so it kind of just made the moment, like, you know, more special. But how we met to do the music is just, you know, internet these days, so you can DM, you can reach out to somebody and get to somebody, so, you know, that's what it really come about.
Well, the album we're talking about now is ready. People can access it right now online.
Yeah, man, right now, man. Anywhere music lives, anywhere it breathes, it should be there, you know what I mean?
And you know, Black H3ro, like you also share highlights from your touring, you know, from performing in the snow to coming off the stage and just mingling with people in the crowd. How important is it for you to keep producing message music as opposed to, you know, falling just doing what is popular or what is out there? What keeps you going and keep you on track?
Well, I guess it's just the foundation. Cause, you know, 20 odd years of my life, I've seen, you know, some things where I wouldn't wish anybody to see. So instead of propel that and, you know, propagate that, I just sing what I really love for seeing a society. You know, we've seen what guns do. We see what wars do. We see what evil and violence do. So we just want to see something better in the world, but in our country too, you know. So I just sing from my heart what I want to see. So it's like them say, be the change I want to see. So, you know, we don't support violence, we just support good. Straight.
You know, one of the things we want to find out, when can your fans see you perform next?
Well.
What's your schedule like in terms of performing?
Well, performing, you know, it's all about touring is something to learn. Even young musicians, I can't wait to be able to share with them how important it is. But yeah, I've been on the road for the last year. But the next step is the On a Mission tour, which is the album tour, and you know we'll be going from East Coast in the States to West Coast, taking it to Japan, to Africa, to UK, Europe. So it's just about just keep up to date with Instagram, all the different pages, just to see when we announce it, because it's coming soon.
Boy, you're going to be flying a long time when you hear them the place where you go. A whole for flying that, you know.
Man. We're prepared for the mission, man.
Good.
How would you describe your touring experience thus far?
Oh man, so much. It's like at the ultimate classroom. Like there's no bigger classroom or better way for grow and learn and test and see and expand. So touring for me has been a big help. It's a big part to why the album is so diverse, why there's records on it where it sound like a whole stadium can sing. Like it really help you understand, like, you know, the necessity of good music, necessity of good stagecraft, the necessity of having good foundation, because when you go out into the world, they may get all kind of things to eat, all kind of things to smoke, all kind of things to drink, but that foundation they from yard just make us stay balanced, you know, drink a bush tea and, you know, smoke herbs.
Of course, it's healing of the nation.
You had a Grammy nomination for Best Global Music Performance. What did this mean to you, you know, knowing where you're coming from? Like
in the second half of it, the reason why I feel so good is that was the first time I ever get like an overwhelming